What's up, guys? Your favorite hobby ruining free handler is back at it again. And my guest for today? My 3-year and 7-month-old female king, Skittles. Wonderful, isn't she? Extremely calm animal. I actually have another guest here today, as you can tell from that box over there, and his name's ADINA, another northern king. Now, I've been gone for quite some time, and today I'm going to tell you all why. Now, there has been a secret project ongoing at my place, and as you can guess, it involves around the title of this video, Skittles and ADINA, my male Northern Thai king, which I will bring out in just a second. Now just look at her, beautiful black and white contrast, and this is a female, because males in this time of year, it's mating season, so they're going to be extremely bright, whereas the females are going to be more dulled down. Now, a lot of people often ask me, why is she so calm? Why is she so placid? And there's no true direct answer to that question. See, what I'll say is, if I'm not being threatening, if I'm not giving them a reason to bite me or act defensively, why would they act that way? It is true for her case and his case, but it doesn't work with every animal in the world, obviously. Now, they're different from a lot of snakes and a lot of my other king cobras because they're used to me. They know that I'm not a threatening entity, but that's partly because I'm being slow, I'm keeping calm, no fast heart rate, and I'm not showing them any reason to be defensive. Granted, I'm just keeping them from going where they want to go, which she doesn't seem to mind right now. Now, I actually hatched her and him from an egg, meaning I've been there since the day they were born. And not to say that they've imprinted on me or that they have a special bond with me or anything. Heck, this is still extremely risky and dangerous. But anyway, this is Skittles, and let's move on to ADINA. Now this is ADINA. Now you may be wondering why I have 2 king cobras, 2 snake eaters out at the same time. They're both solitary animals, they're both very territorial animals, especially to their own kind. Why is it not going wrong? Well, the easy answer to that is they already know each other. I've paired them already. I'm not saying it was successful, though I don't truly know for sure. See that hood she's given off, that body language? She's giving him consent. She's basically saying, I'm not trying to be threatening, and you can have your way with me if you want. Now, of course, he's in a new environment. He's making sure it's a safe area, but he's an extremely calm snake. I've had both of them, like I said, since they hatched. I actually hatched them both in my hands. I have other kings that I've done that to, but they didn't grow up as calm as they are. He's checking her out. Now, they're both about 3 years and 7 months old because I got them around the same time. And as you can tell, the project I've been working on is a breeding project. I'm going to be pairing these 2 snakes together. And I have a lot of footage about that, but I didn't really capture what I wanted. But I'll show you anyway. So without further ado, let's get to it. Come on, back you go. Back you go. He's flicking his tongue back and forth, tasting the air, picking up on the pheromone trails left by Skittles, while she came out to check on just who has entered in through her front door. Luckily, the meet and greet went pleasantly, as she seems okay with him entering her space, and he starts to make his presence known. Approaching ever so gently, he's looking for her submission and not a retaliation. Things going smoothly would benefit every party. Also, don't mind the crappy enclosure look. The lights weren't the best for supporting the type of setup I wanted and were knocked down by Skittles a while ago. So once my new lights arrive, I can finally give this tank the makeover it truly deserves. Now back on topic, all he's got to do now is get on top of her. Sounds easy enough, right? Not unless all she wanted to do is coil up and hide her head. What she's saying here is, don't hurt me, I am scared of you. She's always been a very shy and timid snake, so I get why she's resorted to this quote-unquote surrendering. However, ADINA is also a very gentle snake. Hurting her isn't going to cross his mind. He's continually flicking his tongue up and down her body, and every moment seems calculated. Pairing snake-eating snakes can be tricky, which is why I chose to introduce him into her enclosure and not the other way around. Skittles being so timid, she could easily panic and launch around the new surrounding that's packed with king's milk. We keepers should always reduce risk to a minimum. Hence, when I introduced him to her tank, only 1/3 of his body was inside. So if things went south, I could easily pull him out. Now back to the task at hand, he's still trying his best to ease her out of that coil, nudging here and there. For such a fierce species, king cobras can have quite a soft side. He starts to leave as she refuses to show interest. Oh, or not. He comes back and begins to try a more dominant approach, headbutting her sides. Boy, he does have a way with the ladies. The question remains, will this more demanding approach work? Will she respond with cooperation, or will this piss her off? Forcing her out of the coil, will she give in? Once her coils start to loosen up, he gets even more determined. Yes, this plan is working. Bonk after bonk, he gets her coil to unravel. Once an opportunity presents itself, he takes his chance and moves in on top of her. There is nothing else but determination on his mind as he tries and tries to push her out into the open. She's still not having any of it. Every action he takes is not to harm her, but to try and make things easier. He's relentless, but there's oh so much that bonks can accomplish. Getting in her pants is not one of them. Though, there was a moment where he finally did nudge her out of that coil. With the enclosure bulldozed and him unopposed, he better get in before the window's closed. She's more exposed, yet still enclosed. Their bodies lay juxtaposed. But can he seize the moment, squeeze it and hold it? He better consider these minutes golden. Moving on. Watch how he aligns his body to hers. He's attempting to woo her over. His tail is on an endeavor we shan't speak of, and rubbing his body against her face. Wait, is this legal? Let's give him some privacy. A close victory, it seems. for checking back mere moments later to find out he's given up on the chase, and that they're coiled up in their own separate corners. He's tried his absolute hardest to get her consent, but to no avail. So after a few hours, he just gave up. A very, very awkward blind date. And with this end result, I decided to move him out. We'll try again in a few days. The time has come for me to give it another go. Not off to a good start, but I'll give them some time. I checked on them again after 20 minutes, and she's much more relaxed with him now. However, I may have ruined the mood. He moves back slightly just to examine what exactly entered their enclosure. This unknown object/reflection makes him a bit uncomfortable, so he retracts and moves back to his corner. And I guess I'll check in again in a little bit. This time, I gave Skittles a chunk of rat snake to eat, so she's more out in the open, easier for ADINA to make a move if he so wishes. Though I didn't get the results I wanted, I did get some pretty awesome footage. When I checked on them again, the female was just finishing up her meal, but ADINA wasn't interested in mating anymore. Perhaps he realized that her no really meant no. I've mentioned before that sometimes king cobras can have a little issue getting the last part of that snake down their throat, as the end of the tail is too small for them to walk it down with their teeth. They just have to keep working it down with their muscles. Due to their facial structure, looking at her head on this close may bring out a menacing gaze. She's not trying to look mean, on the contrary, she's never been quote-unquote mean since the day she hatched. It's just how her head is built, the design of those scales, the ridges. For me, they either look really grumpy or just plain old really cute. Though I must give her credit, she's got the impression of the xenomorph down pretty well.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
As you can see, this process can take a while, and I'll take this opportunity to cover this topic again. Yes, all my snakes have fangs and teeth. Now if you look into the mouths of any true cobra or king cobra or taipan or brown snake, coral snakes, kraits, mambas, the point is, you'll notice that you won't see any fangs or teeth protruding from those protective gums. Snakes in the Elapidae family have much smaller fangs than the viper family, and even still, for vipers, most of their fangs, if not all, are hidden under sheaths. There is no snake dentist, so they want these tools kept clean at all times. It is when they bite down that the teeth and fangs are exposed. Now it'll be much easier to believe if 99% of movies portray them that way. Unfortunately for us, they are not. Well now, that must have been, tasty. Finishing the meal, she turns back to ADINA, seemingly like she's given full consent for him to have his way. However, he doesn't look interested anymore. Oh, pfft. Is she freaking teasing him now? Oh, the poor dude. He is not buying it. I decided to stick around and see what footage I can accumulate. Neither are doing much, and there is no courting behavior here at all. but at least she's okay with his presence. I notice him constantly checking her out, yet not engaging. However, what I can pick apart from his behavior is that he's quite alert and seems to be on guard. After a while, he hits up the high branch. Seems he's been keeping his eye on the camera this entire time. For what seemed to be curiosity turned toward territorial behavior in a flash. Why else would he want the high ground advantage? There are some interesting things to note down from this. 1. He's not in all-out attack mode. This is just him showing his threat posture toward another rival, which he sees through the lens. 2. Once I backed out of his territory, he was gonna head back in, but as I got closer, he returns and stands his ground. There are just so many observations here, and all of which have made me fall deeper in love with this species. Being in his presence while he was displaying that territorial behavior was definitely one of the coolest moments for me with kings. It was kinda humbling. There's just not much more my mind can rack up after that. That's all I've gotten so far, so I'll be continuing the pairing and updating you guys over time, but for now, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.